We hear stories of subpar living conditions in social housing more and more every day. But this story of negligence by a London council is particularly heartbreaking. A mother and her infant son survived years in a damp, mold-ridden bedsit in a mid-terrace 1960s apartment block. The child had developed rashes and fungal infections as a result of the unsightly and hazardous living conditions, and the mother was prone to flare-ups of her Crohn's disease. The mother had asked the council to rehouse her family, but her pleas were continuously ignored. This case is particularly concerning because it has echoes of the more well-known story of the death of 2-year-old Awap Ishaq, who was killed by mold in a social housing flat in Greater Manchester in December 2020. The mother in this case had first complained about mold and damp on September 5, 2019, but the council found it difficult to get access to the property. Despite evidence being provided of concerns over her son's health in the form of a doctor's letter, and the mother insisting repairs could not be made while they were resident, their requests to be rehoused were denied. When Awap's death was brought to light, it was rightful cause for national outrage, which ushered in announced reforms. We have to ask why it has taken a tragedy for the neglected social housing issue to be taken into consideration. A recent report by the Housing Ombudsman found Westminster Council to be guilty of severe maladministration after they disregarded the individual circumstances of the resident, shifting the blame between delay and paperwork. We continue to see the consequences of negligible housing standards, and in this case, yet another family was successfully failed by the system. The family was rightfully awarded £2,300 in compensation, and the council was instructed to apologize. But when it comes to unresolved poor housing standards, a check in the mail and several letters of apology do not take the place of suitable living conditions. In December 2020, the Social Housing White Paper proposed 3 major changes to the current housing system. The government's key objectives included making sure social tenants can access decent and safe homes, and that tenants have the power to shape their own lives. Failed cases such as this mom and son, and of course tragic stories like that of Awap, are only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to neglect in the social housing system. If these reforms are to be effective, landlords have to take a holistic view of the individual circumstances of their tenants and take action to make sure all of their tenants have suitable living conditions. It's time to step up and make sure that everyone in society has the basic right of a safe and comfortable home.